Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hey, it's Jackie Cation. Welcome to the Dork Forest. You know the websites, JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com, FamilyPetAncestry.com. You're probably already there. Let's do the credits. Mike Rickberg composed and sang that song with his wife, Sarah, that you just heard. He's going to sing his version of the Mexican hat dance at the end of the program. Patrick Brady is going to fix this audio, and Vilmos works on JackieCation.com, the website. There are many ways to support the show. The Amazon link is one. You can use an Amazon link from JackieCation.com or DorkForest.com to go to Amazon. You order like normal, and it supports the show. There is a straight-up donation button, PayPal or Venmo, to this email address that is mine, Jackie at JackieCation.com, where you can just donate to the show if you like the show a lot. I think PayPal has figured out a way to do a monthly. If you want to go monthly, please do. Other ways to support the show if you want to is you can buy merch. There's Dork Forest t-shirts, and all the shirts are union made here in America, so they run a little big. Union Bayside, so if you want to look up their size chart. And then the other merch is my stand-up merch. On JackieCation.com, you can watch me do stand-up, you can look at my schedule, and the stand-up merch, a couple of different t-shirts, couple of different enamel pins, and all of my CDs and my DVD. If you want to live stream my DVD, it's over there at comedyfilmnerds.com. They have a live streaming capability, or you can get a hard copy of the DVD on my website. Oh, there are premium episodes at Bandcamp. TheDorkForest.bandcamp.com has probably 10 episodes that were done live. They cost me a couple of bucks to make, so I charge you a couple of bucks. If you've run out of regular episodes, go over to TheDorkForest.bandcamp.com and get some more. Other than that, I say this. Let's get into the show. Hey, it's Jackie Cation. I'm in my living room, and I am with Gary Anthony Williams. Hello.
Hi. I'm now considering this my living room because I believe wherever I go,
yes,
this land is your land, this land is my land, that kind of thing. If this house is your house,
yeah,
this house is my house.
This house, well, you know what? It's great. There's an extra room.
Well, no, I'm not just going to take the room.
You
know that.
Can we take the other room?
We'll talk.
Okay.
Su casa es mi casa, as my people say.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know your people were bilingual.
Oh my God, I literally speak every language.
Every language.
There's not a language.
What about the language of love?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
And what about the language of birds?
Oh.
Tweet.
I'm known for my whistling.
That is okay. Rangers of the Dork Forest, allow me to introduce you to Gary Anthony Williams. Gary Anthony Williams and I did a show the other night, and we fell into platonic love.
Oh, yes.
It was an amazing time for both of us. I got to see an 18-inch drill bit. He got to meet my stuffed dog, Laddie.
Oh, Laddie.
Yep, there he was. And so it's at Gary A. Williams on Twitter, at Gary Anthony Williams on Instagram. You have a podcast called Day Drinking with Gary and Elliot. Let me guess.
Yes.
Is there day drinking?
There is. Not everybody who comes on the show drinks alcohol, but we will make a custom cocktail. My friend Elliot Blake.
Like a virgin mojito?
Yeah.
I enjoy a virgin mojito because it has mint and sugar.
Oh, what's wrong with those two things?
No, that's magical.
Yeah.
If somebody's done something right.
The Peppermint Patty Company proved years ago that is a combination that works.
Right, it is. And I even have old, that's not the way to put that, but old peppermint bark.
Mature.
And that I sort of nurse through the whole year.
Mature peppermint bark.
Yeah, because I enjoy peppermint bark so much.
Will chocolate, like regular chocolate, can it go? I know it gets that white film on it, but can it go old?
I don't think so. And certainly not Dove. I mean, I think Dove has been treated with some sort of anti-aging processes.
It's like the fountain of youth that melts in your mouth. That's what we call Dove.
Gary Anthony Williams.
Hi.
You have a dorkdom that I love the idea. I wish I did it. You know a little bit about birds.
Look,
you like a bird.
I have a newfound dorkdom. So about hi. First of all, hello, friend. 6 years ago, I was about 150 pounds heavier than I am now.
Okay.
So I went on a diet that I created myself. And in the meantime, once I started losing weight, I started hiking a lot, and I started seeing a lot of birds. And then I would say to myself, Gary, I always call myself Gary, sometimes Mr. Williams.
Excellent. Well,
Gary,
if you respect yourself.
Gary and or Mr. Williams, what bird is that you're looking at right now? And I didn't know. And so I was like, I got to figure out what all these birds are. So I started asking people who knew birds, and they would tell me. And then I was like, I got to go deeper.
Right.
I don't want to see a bird out there.
Do people know what birds are?
Some people do.
Just walking around people like to hike here in Los Angeles at a little canyon called Runyon Canyon.
Yeah, Runyon Canyon, yeah.
I've never been. This doesn't accelerate really. But the thing is so it. But you'll just be wandering around. You're like, you'll see a bird.
Yeah.
Initially.
And I might go, excuse me, if I see somebody looking at them, you know what bird that is? They're like, oh yeah, I think that's a blah blah. Then I had to know.
Right.
But the thing is, I didn't want anybody to start calling me a bird nerd. So, and I wanted to walk into the bird stores and go, yo, hey man, what kind of books you got on warblers? But I thought I had to be tough to do it. But my wife overheard me telling a friend. And so she went out and bought me that I have in front of my face right now, which this might be the photograph for America to see.
Right. That might be
books.
2 bird books. Oh, wait. You have a folding laminated.
Yes.
That's your travel.
That for my traveling. Yes.
Just in case it rains or something.
Yes. Or, a man gets sweaty when he's looking at birds. So I have that one, and then
can I entitle this episode "Bird Nerd"?
You can call it "Bird Nerd." You can call it "A Man Gets Sweaty When You're Looking at Bird." Your choice, player's choice.
Yes. Anyway, so those are your 2 main books,
yes.
right?
And they're all Southern California birds because once again, it was what bird am I looking at while I'm walking?
Right.
I can't go all over the world.
People do. I read that book about that. The people that went all over the world before 9/11.
Yeah.
There was a bird. There was a famous nonfiction bird travel around the world. Look at bird book.
See, I don't want to become that guy. I'm afraid of becoming that guy. So here's when I knew I had gone too far. This was merely last year, and there were 2 real nerdy bird watching people. It was a guy and a girl, and they were wearing tan shorts, full bird watching costume, binoculars, and the little books. And they're walking by the river.
What?
The beautiful LA River. Mm-hmm. Oh, which is engulfed and swollen right now with our rains.
We have rains.
They were walking by the river, and they were looking up in a tree. And I was like, oh, what are you guys looking at? Oh, it's an Audubon warbler up there, huh? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, I saw a kingfisher down here yesterday. Yeah, well, yeah. And these black phoebes are really out. So I'm talking to them, and I'm with a couple of friends of mine, and I walk away, and I take like 3 steps, and I was like, oh, shit.
You're bird people.
I've become that dude. I know these birds intimately. And my friends just laughed at me. It's like, that's who I am now, guys.
Right. And you know what? Love your love of birds. That's what I say. Dork Forest is a safe space, my friend. Well, and here's the place to really celebrate. So you're hiking.
Yeah.
You're in Southern California.
Yes.
Do you go to different? Do you hike in different? Like there's in the Sepulveda Basin. There's a walk.
Yes.
There's a place to walk over there. Do you just go to one place and hope to see?
I go to different places. And listen, I'm not going out looking for these things. I don't know if you know much about birds.
I don't know anything.
They're everywhere.
Well, they fly.
You can't swing a dead bird without hitting a live bird. I always say that. They fly. They do. They don't just walk.
We have a lot of feral cats in this neighborhood. So, and that tree is a very popular tree right out my front window right there.
I literally just saw a cat scurry up that tree.
They love to get up that tree, and birds like to get up higher than those cats can get. Oh. And just sort of tweet at them and go, yeah. No, why don't you? Oh, you don't fly? I do.
I would love to see what kind of birds you got up there taunting those cats.
They seem to be sparrows. I'm told that they are sparrows of a sort. I don't know what kind of sparrows.
Sure, there's several brands.
This might just be a way of just going, you don't know? I think they're sparrows, is what my husband likes to say. That's Andy Ashcraft.
Well, let me tell you something about old Andy.
Yeah.
Here's what I do find. toughest part with me as a novice guy who is heavily into this situation. The toughest part is
I love that you're a novice and heavily committed.
Yes, I am in. This is not a joke. There's nothing joking about this.
No.
Me. But the females of almost every bird type is just boring looking. And most of the females are brown and gray.
Okay.
So even if you have a Western tanager, say, the females don't look anything like the males. They're just drab looking things. So I will look at a female bird and I was like, what is that? What is it? Even a female blackbird is not always like, sometimes they're like a weird brown color. And it's like, what am I looking at here?
Oh, they tend to like it doesn't feel distinctive.
The males are beautifully colored.
Okay.
And the females are always just kind of plain. Kind of plain birds.
Well, you know what
I'm going to just flash you.
You're going to flash a picture of a favorite bird?
I don't. Well, I can tell you some of my favorite birds.
You have favorite birds? Oh, let's hear it. Yes. Of course. Why wouldn't you?
My absolute favorite bird is a peregrine falcon.
Oh, wow. They're big.
And fast. They dive at about close to 200 miles per hour.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, they're hunters, right? They're predators.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually, like that movie, what was it, Avatar?
Okay.
Usually they attack from the top. Like, there's a bird down there. Hey, I'm doing something. I'm trying to get your babies in the nest. Yeah. I saw this great video once. It was a bird trying to get into a peregrine falcon's nest to get at the babies. Okay. The mom flies out like, oh, shit, I'm out of here. I'm leaving my children. Bye. Right. But then what she really does is flies hundreds of feet up into the air and dives straight down at about 180 miles per hour. Dive Bob. And whatever's attacking. Obliterates it. Like literally nothing but feathers and flesh flying. So.
Just blew it up, essentially.
Yeah. That's my favorite bird. And on the day of my colonoscopy, which, by the way, I'm going to recommend.
Are you going to recommend people
even
get
if
a
you
colonoscopy?
don't need one? If anybody out there in your listening audience
sees
a Groupon for a colonoscopy, I will go with them.
Oh, interesting.
I will go with them. I'm not a man who does drugs, but whatever it is, it's that same drug that killed Michael Jackson.
Oh, you like how they get you all junked up on the way out? Yeah. Like when you came out of it?
Yeah. Like because you don't feel drugged, you just feel like, oh my God, the world's beautiful.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. The only time I've ever had any sort of surgery, it was like I was a light bulb. And they flipped me off. They turned me off, and then they turned me back on. Yeah. It was the weirdest experience.
Like what happened to my time?
Right. Yeah. It's gone. I'm in a different cubby that looks exactly like the previous cubby. Yeah. I'm told to have a colonoscopy because I'm in my 50s.
Oh, girl.
Now's the time, they say.
Friendship colonoscopies.
You want to go?
We'll go to sleep shaking hands, and we'll wake up feeling
clean as a whistle.
Oh, my God, I feel grand.
Wow, look what happened.
So I'm getting my colonoscopy. Yes. I'm on the way. First, I have to go do a voiceover job.
Okay.
So my wife is driving me. And we're driving on the 101 freeway, which, if you're not from Los Angeles, it's a marvelous freeway.
It's good. It's like an artery, you guys.
It's a beautiful open artery that's usually clogged.
It's a clogged artery, is what it is.
Driving the 101 freeway right by Barham, and alongside my car, as I'm looking out the window, is a peregrine falcon, like right beside the freaking window, traveling at the same speed as my car.
What?
And then it flies off. And I was like, that's either an omen for good, or it's just like, oh, bye, Gary. It was nice to know.
An omen for bad, or third choice, coincidence.
Yeah.
Any chance?
100% coincidence.
Okay, there you go.
100%. That is
it all worked
100% coincidence.
Because it would be kind of cool if your good omen bird was a peregrine falcon. Peregrine falcon. Yeah. Is that the falcon that they would do in the Middle Ages? That they would have as pets, and then they'd fly them off, and they'd.
That is one of the falconer birds. There's several birds that falconers use.
Okay.
But the peregrine is one of them.
Okay.
But once again, the fastest animal in the world.
Really?
The peregrine falcon.
As they dive and
about 180 to 200 miles per hour. Imagine that speed hitting you without you knowing. Imagine it hitting you with you knowing it.
Even if it were a 20-pound bird, how heavy are those birds?
No, they're not. They're not nearly
not even
heavy. The biggest bird, and because it's not a California bird, so I won't really know its
What about the condor?
The real name, condor is huge. And I've never seen one live. I got to do that.
Okay.
But there's a bird called something like the great Busker bus. I wish I had my glasses. I could Google it.
Right.
It's the biggest flying bird in the world.
And it is how many?
I don't know.
Like,
I would have to look it up way beyond
so
size.
this peregrine falcon,
Yeah.
if it hit me at 180 miles an hour, and it
face.
weighs in the face or in the gut,
I
would
wish
it
I
fly
had my
through
reading
me?
glass.
Would it just pass right through me?
If it went beak first into your soft meat,
it's
it's gonna make a hole. You're definitely gonna have a peregrine falcon a head size hole in you. It's gonna get its head embedded in you like a tick would.
I'm a dead person, is what I think I am.
If it hits you in the right place, you're dead.
If it comes from above, zort, 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 and bezorts me.
They do make that zort sound. They're known for their zorting.
A lot of people don't know that about them. They're bezorters. And
so the first bird that I had to identify was these little yellow birds. I was seeing them all over the place. And I was like, what is that bird? What is that bird? And it was a warbler, and it's either the Audubon's warbler or yellow-bottomed or yellow-rumped warbler.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, now I know that bird. And after that, it was like, now I got to figure out all these other birds.
Is it like cars? Like once you see one of them and you recognize, you're like, oh, now I know what that car looks like.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh, that's a...
And the good thing about birds is they're not making new models every year.
Right.
It's not like, oh man, that 2011 Hyundai Sonata looks way different than the 2017.
Exactly. So thank goodness the warblers.
Yeah. But if I see a black-crowned night heron, it's going to look the same.
It's going to look the same.
Yeah.
Now, do you know about birds that are indigenous to this area versus?
That's the ones I know about.
Okay.
So I say it just started, but when I was a wee lad, just a child, and I was never wee. When I was a wee lad of probably 200 pounds at age 10, I would go through that old World Book Encyclopedia.
Oh yeah,
it was like all the dogs, all the birds, and I definitely was there looking at the birds. Like, oh, what is that bird? What is that bird? And that was in the South,
right? So
I knew the birds around there, like brown thrashers and bob whites, and
it was always fun to see in Wisconsin. It was always fun to see we had a lot of robins.
Yeah,
and then we had what is the state bird of Illinois? It's
I do
red.
not know.
It is red.
Is it a cardinal?
It is a cardinal.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so whenever you'd see a cardinal, there'd be a lot of hoopla, lot of cheering.
See, here's what you probably just did to me.
What?
Made me go, now I got to learn the state birds of every state.
Oh,
because I have only been, as you see, one book is Birds of Southern California, and the other book is also Birds of Southern California.
Wow,
So-
and nobody gets confused.
Nobody gets confused.
They're just like,
But now, I can guarantee if you see me in 7 months,
yep.
I'm going to know all the state birds.
What's the state bird of
Georgia,
California?
I don't even know that. I'm guessing
about
it's
Georgia?
the condor.
Oh, might be the condor.
I'm guessing it's the condor.
Okay.
In Georgia, it's the brown thrasher, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's the robin in Wisconsin, and it's the cardinal in Illinois.
We have a ton of robins in Georgia. And also, the birds that's common in a lot of places is the blue jay, which is also
A good-looking bird.
a good-looking bird and one of the assholes of the animal kingdom.
Oh, really?
They kill more songbirds than any other bird.
The blue jay?
jays kill other birds, yeah. They
Are they
attack and kill other birds.
Wait, don't most
dicks.
birds eat like worms, or is this? I know what I know
Some
about
birds do.
birds. Animation. That's what I know.
Yeah, well, the animation has it right on.
A lot of times the science
that
in a
Heckle and
Bugs
Jekyll
Bunny,
thing,
yes,
right on. Very African American, step and fetch it type
right.
words.
There's a lot of
there's a lot.
song and dance.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Why wouldn't there be?
So yeah, you get your worm eaters.
Yep.
Then you get your fish eaters, like the
Oh, you like your ducks and stuff.
like your ducks, like your coots.
What's a coot?
A coot looks. If you
Are they old? Are they old
Yeah,
coots?
they're that old ducks. Man, that old coot. A coot looks very similar to a duck, and a lot of people think they're ducks. They're these little round black birds, but they have sharp beaks. They always hang out with ducks.
Oh.
And they have their feet are like nothing you've ever seen on a living creature in the world. Their feet look totally alien. The coot feet.
The coot feet.
Yeah, if you Google coot feet right now, you're going to be surprised.
Somebody Google coot feet and then email me, Jackie at JackieCation.com. So they're not just the webbed feet of a duck?
No.
Are they more like hands? Are they more like our feet?
They're like an alien came down one day and said, Jackie, why did I leave my sunglasses at home? I mean, my reading glasses.
I don't know why you left it.
It's like an alien came down one day and said, I'm going to make something that looks very duck-like, but I'm going to give it such feet that one day JackieCation.com is going to have Gary on feverishly looking in a book to try to find a coot.
Right, and holding it in such a way that you can read it.
Yeah.
I will tell people that I am talking to Gary Anthony Williams, and people should know that. And you have a show that's the first season is on Netflix, but the current season is on True TV.
Yes.
And it's called I'm Sorry.
I'm Sorry.
And you've also been doing Whose Line for generations.
Yeah, I started. They rebooted the show about 7 years ago here in America.
Yeah,
and I became one of what they call the fourth seeders. So it's always Wayne Brady, Colin Mockery, and Ryan Stiles, and then I'm one of the guys who rotate in and out of there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
And I've only got to see you extemporaneously tell a story regarding an 18-inch drill bit, and it was fascinating and hilarious.
Yes.
So, Gary Anthony Williams, you guys. And did you find a coot?
I found a coot. You can't see your feet. You can almost see the feet there. You can almost see what's happening.
Oh, that is weird. They're super long.
There's some, and
they're almost as long as the...
It's a weird foot. There's no other bird I've ever seen that has
this. Looks like a duck that's been a little too much Taco Bell. Yeah. Because it's tiny duck head on a round body.
Round body.
And then the longest feet in the world.
Yeah. If you go here to, what's that?
American
Balboa?
Coot.
If you go to Balboa.
Yes.
Little park, that little river
Lake
there.
Balboa?
Lake Balboa, you will see, as you would say, a crap load of coots out there.
You know, when I talk about things, I say a crap load and then I go double crap load. It's weird. You would see
a what do they call those? Like a baker's dozen?
Oh,
you'd see a baker's crap load, of coots.
Of that
this particular animal.
That's a cool looking bird.
And
it flies.
Yeah, coots fly. Yeah.
Okay.
They make crazy noises.
Do you do it? Oh, do you do any bird?
I am only a whistler. I can do. That's a red-tailed hawk in the distance.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That's it. How about
all my whistling is.
See, why aren't you
melodic.
doing? Are you doing animation? Are you doing?
I do animation work
because
I'm trying to get whistling work, but nobody's hiring whistlers right now.
It's you know what they got a vault full of whistle.
Yeah,
they got a vault full of whistling that they're still using. Yeah. They got stock whistlers.
Uncle Remus came in 50 years ago and whistled for
them. Took all the whistle work.
We don't need no more whistlers.
Exactly, and it was all a buyout too, so there's no residuals.
I don't know if I've ever played a bird in an animated show.
You could do it. And I think it's a calling. I think you are ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
It's like. Do you know what that is?
What is that one? What's that?
It is a bird that I hear in this neighborhood all the time.
Okay, so here's what to know about me.
Okay.
I may as well be walking around deaf. My thing is, what bird am I looking at?
You're all eyeballs.
The only birds I recognize by sound are a black phoebe, which makes an annoying sound.
Okay, and you're like, there's one of those.
There's that black phoebe. A red-tailed hawk.
Okay.
There's one of the woodpeckers, and I haven't been able to see which type it is.
Right.
But it makes a sound like a car alarm being turned.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. The parrots that we have in California.
Right. Now, we do have parrots, and I've heard very different stories about why we have so many parrots. What story were you told? My ad. I'm about to do an ad. Rangers, I had a chance to try HelloFresh, and it's hands down my favorite meal kit delivery service. So you go to HelloFresh.com/dork80 and enter the promo code dork80. HelloFresh makes conquering the kitchen in 2019 a reality with deliciously simple recipes. Like, I like to cook, but HelloFresh delivers the entire box to me. It does all the planning, the shopping, and the prepping. They provide the protein, which is different from other meal kit delivery services. It shops, plans, and delivers the step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can just cook, eat, and enjoy, and everything is fresh and pre-measured. All the meals come together in about 30 minutes. They call for less than 2 pots and pans. There's minimal cleanup, and if you have kids or if you have picky eaters, it's kid tested. The kids can actually help you cook. That's what my sister did. So there are 3 plans to choose from: classic, veggie, and family, with the option to switch, obviously. Get out of the recipe rut. Start cooking outside your comfort zone by discovering new, delicious recipes. I picked fish last time, and it was amazing. Just so you know, you take advantage of HelloFresh's special offer for 2019. You get $80 off your first month. You get $20 off your first 4 boxes by going to HelloFresh.com/dork80 and enter the promo code dork80. All right, let's get back into the show.
There are always those stories of, there was a circus in town.
I have not heard the circus
and a
version.
truck fell over, right?
Right.
Because they also have them in New York. They have wild parrots in New York as well that live there year-round.
That makes me think that it's that the story that any number of stories.
Was yours, there was a lady in Pasadena who had a parrot and they escaped and they bred?
That they gave them that they moved and they just released the parrots. That's what I heard, is that people had parrots. The other story I heard was that because there are more parrots in Pasadena than anywhere else in the Los Angeles area. And they are spreading everywhere else.
They're all over the place.
Now they're all over the place, but they're mostly in South Pass is what I've seen. But what I also heard was that there was a fire at a pet store. And they had lots and lots of parrots that all got out, and then they multiplied faster.
People say that. I'm going to just flip around to you in the parrot section of my book.
Are you in the parrot section?
And there are several. People think there's only just a green parrot here.
Yeah.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 common parrots that live in the Los Angeles area. San Gabriel Valley. But and they're all.
Have you seen most of them? If not all?
I probably.
Okay.
And if you go to certain places, like
they got parakeets.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy how many. Like in Beverly Hills, there are huge flocks of them.
Yeah, and
most of them you can tell because they have a very sharp tail, and they're a very loud, annoying squawk.
Yeah, they squawk.
Really.
They're crazy squawkers. What we got here is we got your Mitt red parakeet, your Nanday parakeet, your yellow chevroned parakeet, and your rose ringed parakeet.
If you turn the other page there, you see them.
And then the parrots. We got a lilac crowned and a red crowned.
Yeah.
I have seen the red crowned. I have not seen the lilac crowned.
Yeah.
And so
when I first saw them, I didn't know I was newer to LA, and I saw a bunch in Glendale.
Yes.
Once I was like, oh, there's a parrot, and then people start to, there's plenty of parrots. They're in Pasadena, they're in Glendale, they're in Sherman Oaks, they're all in the San Gabriel Valley. They're everywhere.
It's amazing. Now they're alphabetical in that bird book, and so the Roadrunner was next.
Yeah, have you ever seen one? I want to see it.
Beep.
I want to see it.
I want to see a Roadrunner.
I have gone out dressed up like a coyote.
In
the hopes of being able to chase one down.
Have you ever played Acme Theater? Sometimes he's shopping there.
I got to get over to the Acme's. Is it still open? No,
it is. They moved
locations.
Yeah, they moved location here into the valley. On Lancashire,
in
on the
beautiful North Hollywood,
over by the NoHo district, which has been desperately trying to be the NoHo district for 20 years.
I think it made it.
It blew up.
It made it
in the last year and a half. It has maybe 3 years.
Did you ever do improv or any kind of comedy at the?
At the Acme? I've done some stand-up at the Acme.
Okay.
And at the old La Brea. I've taken improv classes. Here's what a lot of people don't realize about improv, because it's improvisational. Improv is a learned skill, it turns out. This is not something that you might be, like I have been doing stand-up for 1,000 years. Uh-huh. And so one would imagine as a lateral move, I would have some advantages, and probably do.
Yeah.
But people who I've seen who have done improv for 25, 30 years, they're doing something else. they're doing something so beautiful that I'm like, holy smokes.
I will say the advantage that you would already have is that you're funny.
Yes.
That is one thing that I'm guessing is impossible to teach.
It's hard to teach. You can try to. I assume that I've seen people that I didn't think were funny.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later were funny. Sort of they found they're funny.
Okay.
So it's
so they had it, but they didn't
know how to tap into it. Yeah. And
find your clown, as some people say. What's your clown?
Really?
Yeah.
People say find your clown? Mm-hmm. Does anyone ever say find your mime?
Find your mime. That means shut up. Like when you're at home and you're talking too much and your daddy turns to you and go, Gary, find your mime. Then I pretend I'm in a box.
Inner mime.
Yeah. I think, your advantage would be you're already funny and you're already quick-witted.
Right. And because it's if you start doing improv, I think, and Sean Conroy is going to come on the show and talk about improv, so I'm sure he will know more things. His dork to me wanted it to be his improv.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't. Sean and I just met that night when I met you.
Yeah.
Had never met him, and I've been doing improv since before I moved to LA in 1998. I moved here.
Okay.
And I was doing improv and getting paid for it in Atlanta long before that.
Right.
And the fact that he and I have never run into each other is amazing to me.
Right. Well, he's a New York guy and did it in New York. Starting probably, I think, in the 80s, much like yourself, I'm sure. And I saw one of the first times I think I realized that thing about improv was I saw him and Matt Besser do improv together. And they've been friends, I guess, since the dawn of man. But the classes that I took about improv, the real problem when you start doing improv, if you are starting from sort of jump from a very basic, I don't know if I'm funny, you just say things, and much like stand up, a lot of it's shock jock, and so there's dick jokes and there's nonsense and it's gross, and at no point while watching Sean Conroy and Matt Besser did I think that they were not in control of where this, like they didn't worry.
Yeah.
They didn't worry where the story was going to go. It was never going to go to a place where they did not. That it was going to make anyone grossed out or uncomfortable.
And if you're doing it with people that you know and trust, then you always know that other person has my back. I have an improv group called The Black Version at theblackversion.com.
Oh, there you go.
If you care. It's all black improvisers. The audience gives us a typically white movie, like say on Golden Pond.
Okay.
And then they rename the movie, the audience does.
Yes.
And then we improvise the black version of that movie.
The black version, hence the name of the group.
And also it's founded by a guy named Jordan Black.
Okay.
Also hence. It's a double entendre.
A lot of words are being used a couple of times right there.
Yeah,
what's happening.
Oh, yeah, in different ways. But with that group, we've been doing that show together for about 8 years now. And it is what you just said, that you might not know where it's going, but you may as well. Because it's that complete trust of the guy on stage totally has my back.
Yeah.
Or girl. Believe it or not, we got girls in the group.
We got
girls and guys.
There's women doing improv right there.
They do an improv. When they clap their hands, their nails click together. That's how you can tell the difference.
Are they black women?
They are. Everybody's black in the group except
black
Karen
women
Maru.
being funny.
Yeah, well, Wanda Sykes allowed them to be. Like,
I remember when she put out the memo.
She put out a memo because they were originally Hollywood was only going to let one black lady be funny at a time. And then Wanda said, "Wait a minute, guys, we can do more.
We can do this."
Now 7 can be.
And now 7, and we don't have to have men who dress like women.
We don't have to.
It's fun.
Yeah.
We're not saying that it can't be done.
I know what you're wondering, Gary. What's the difference between a great egret?
Yes.
And a snowy egret?
Bringing it back to birds.
I know what you're wondering. Now, here's the deal. If you're walking by once again, I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's such an amazing body of water we have here, the beautiful LA River.
Oh,
with this wonderful concrete sides.
We're right by the Pacoima Wash back here.
Oh, is there a wash behind
There's
you?
a wash right behind me right here.
If I walk down your little side alley.
Yep. You're going to run into the wash.
I'll get in it. I'll get in that wash.
Sadly, neighbor put up some bushes. We can't see the what I assume would be drag racing. What I assume to be a Grease-like moment every summer. Now I don't have any egrets.
Okay.
I had to say that out loud.
You don't have a few, but then again, too few to mention? None at all?
I've never seen an egret.
Okay.
But actually, that's not true. I have seen egrets, but egrets are cool looking.
Yeah, they are. They're very...
what kind of egrets do we have here?
The two that I see that I know are the snowy egret and the great egret. Great white egret. The snowy one is usually smaller, and it has yellow legs and yellow feet.
Oh.
So if you look down and you see the yellow feet, then you know you're looking at the snowy and not the great.
What color's the body?
White. They're both white.
They're both because
beautiful white bird, and I don't see color. I don't see color. I don't see it.
You said you don't see size.
I don't see size, and I don't see color. I don't see any of those things.
I see all of those things at all times. I'm constantly thinking to myself, "What color is that? Red." And
I don't see. How about that? I don't see.
Wait, are you blind?
I think so.
Okay.
Which makes it hard to know these birds, especially since I told you I may as well be deaf walking.
Exactly. Now you're just touching birds with or without their consent.
Birds want to be touched.
Birds.
That's the one. If I can leave this audience with anything, birds want to be touched.
Birds. So do you have binoculars?
I don't.
Okay. You have yet to invest.
No, I have binoculars at home.
Okay.
I guess... my thought was you were asking, do I have binoculars while I'm out on my walks?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, why?
I don't want to look like that guy. Once again, I want to be like...
You want to be the cool bird guy?
I'm just a dude walking around. Oh, and I happen to know that bird. But I don't ever want to be...
Very tricky.
I don't want to be... There's that man. There that man is with them binoculars looking at the birds again. Writing down in his book.
Gary Williams, Bird Narrative.
Yeah.
Could you please write that book?
Gary. Yeah, but see this guy on this cover?
Yeah, what is that?
He's so beautiful. It's the Western Tanager.
Okay.
He's so beautiful, he looks like he should be put in a cage. He looks like he should be.
He does look like the kind of pet bird that someone would want to own.
I said to myself, that's not a California bird. I've never seen this bird out in the wild. And then one day I'm walking up Dixie Canyon. It turns into a hiking area up there. And this son of a gun is sitting on a branch. Sitting on a branch. Just to prove it.
Oh, my God. I have to say that this is a gorgeous bird.
It's beautiful.
My ad. I'm about to do an ad. Rangers, it's another ad for Third Love, which is my favorite bra right now. And so if you need a bra, if you like the idea of bras, if you want to get a bra, Third Love is the way to go. You go to thirdlove.com/dork now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase of more than just a bra. I bought a bra and a bodysuit. Here's the thing about Third Love. The perfect fit. They use data points generated by millions of women who've taken the Fit Finder quiz, which takes less than a minute. It's like 60 seconds of a quiz. Did you know that your breast shape matters when finding a good fit? The bra has like memory foam, so it helps you identify your breast size and shape and find styles to fit your body. Every customer has 60 days to wear it, wash it, put it to the test, and if you don't love it, return it. And Third Love will wash it and donate it to a woman in need. They have a team of stylists, like fit stylists, that are dedicated to help you find your perfect fit. They're available every day via text, chat, or phone. It's hands down the most comfortable bra I've ever had. The straps don't slip. They're tagless labels, so there's no itching. They're lightweight. They're super thin memory foam cups. They mold to your shape and are proprietary to Third Love. The newest member of the Third Love family is their line of incredibly soft, smooth, and breathable cotton bras. That's right. So, Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone, so right now they're offering Rangers of the Dork Forest 15% off your first order. So go to thirdlove.com/dork now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. Let's get back into the show. What do you think about pet birds? People having birds in the house.
Look.
Like, this is a good-looking bird.
Yeah.
It feels like you've purchased a live flower.
Yeah.
and you've stuck it in your house.
Oh, it should be trapped and looked at it.
Whenever you want to look at it.
Whenever you want to look at it.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of, I've never had an opinion about birds' rights before this very moment.
Well,
now I'm like, fucking let that bird go.
Here's
What's with this bird? Let it go.
Everyone out there now, if you are in possession of any bird, I don't care what it is, a macaw, I don't care, an African gray, let it go.
Open it up. Let that bird.
I have mixed emotions about it. Here's the deal. Hi, how are you?
Hi. What do I not know?
Number one, I am also a vegan, and the reason I'm vegan is when I was a young man raised in the South, we raised and slaughtered our own animals.
Okay.
Hogs mostly. My grandma.
So you were there.
Chickens. Oh yeah.
You were there on the ground floor.
I have shot many things in the head.
Oh,
and,
good Lord.
And cut them in the throat and hung them upside down and snipped off feet and pulled skin off of things. Yeah, I grew up in the woods. I grew up poor in the woods, shooting stuff to eat it.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what they say.
Yeah.
They say if you want to eat meat, you should really get in there.
Well, I got grossed out by it.
Right.
So then I became a vegetarian back in, Lord have mercy, the year 1987.
87.
And then in 96, I just went full on vegan, no dairy, no honey, any of that stuff.
Right. And so now, did that go for health reasons, do you think?
No,
the second level,
went, the first time was just for gross
right, because you were grossed out.
And then in 96, I was at my then girlfriend, now wife's Christmas party. No, maybe we had already been married then. Yeah, we just got married. At her Christmas party, and I was eating some hors d'oeuvres, and then my stomach is killing me. I was eating some cheese.
Oh, okay.
And then the next day, I didn't eat anything at all. And the day after that, I was like, I'll just have a little cheese. I don't know what's going on. And I ate some more cheese. Like, my stomach. She's like, you're lactose intolerant.
It just hit you.
Then, so I thought.
Yeah.
Then, a few years ago, I'm at my mother's 80th birthday, and I'm talking about being horribly like the kind where it feels like my stomach is turned inside out, and I'm down on the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, this lactose intolerance. I was like, I can't even be near dairy anymore. She's like, baby, you ain't lactose intolerant. You're allergic to dairy. It almost killed you when you were a baby. So first of all, she never told me.
Right.
At some point, I got over it, I guess.
Yeah.
The allergy, and then at some point it came back.
It just
with a vengeance.
Holy smokes!
It took 30-something years.
Well, because I've got a friend whose little boy is allergic to eggs.
Yeah.
And they said when he's 5, that allergy should go away.
Try it again.
And he'll try it again. And it could go away, but it could also come back.
That one clearly.
That one came back.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So I was saying that for the fact that, like, with the birds trap, like, I'm not a vegan for animal rights reasons,
right.
Even though I think, why torture an animal? I'm not that kind of vegan. I'm never going to look at somebody eating a hamburger and go, that poor cow.
Right.
I was a vegan because that's a nasty process, and I was around it, and I know how nasty it is.
You don't want.
And I don't want that in my mouth.
You're like, I don't even need it.
No,
exactly. It'll be fine.
So with the birds in a cage, they are beautiful to look at. And I have to admit, I have to admit, there's a part of me who would love to have a peregrine falcon to go out and just let it fly around and then come back and land on my arm with a bunny rabbit.
Yeah. And
Bring me a bunny rabbit, but don't hurt it, I'd say to it.
Because I'm not going to skin it and eat it.
Right,
so if you could just bring it gently in your beak or your talons, and then we could let it go from here, and maybe it will be like, how irritating. Now I have to hop back to where I used to live.
But if I could put suction cups on it or Velcro so it could just Velcro down, scoop up the bunny, bring it back unharmed.
We had a bird when I was very little. We had a parakeet. And we killed it because we were dumb.
Sure.
There were too many of us, and it was the whole situation was terrible. And so I buried it, of course, in a shoebox like you do. Yeah. And so I have friends who have birds, pet birds, who in the house, and it is cool, but it always feels like it's sort of like a litter box that you hang up. to some extent. And I like the idea of seeing birds out in the wild.
Yeah.
So for me, it's not, I mean, you can have whatever pet you want, I guess. I'm certainly not going to die on that hill.
Yeah.
But, but that's a really good looking bird. I'd like to see that bird in real life.
Yeah. It was stunning. Like you can see his bright yellow body and that the red head is like stunning. And I thought that's not a bird that's just flying around.
That is.
And then I saw it and it's like that bird really just hangs out and flies around.
Right. And you would think that bird would get attacked by other birds because it's so noticeable.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know how birds protect themselves besides flying away.
Yeah.
That seems key.
They're good at that. Flying away, blending in. And then the little guys, especially like finches and stuff like. So you ask them like what they eat. Like some birds have little beaks that crack seeds like finches and stuff like that. So not so much worms, but more seed eaters.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Those guys are really good at like hiding in briary thickets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Darting in and out of thickets.
Okay. So, and then worm.
But then again, like a parrot. Like an African gray parrot, like back to the birds in the house thing. Like those parrots can live, will in general outlive their owners.
Oh, right.
So,
like if you get a pet turtle.
if you got a tortoise,
Yep.
then it's going to outlive you.
Right. I used to do a joke about making it a burden on your descendants.
Yeah.
And there's a commitment to having a pet.
Yeah.
Like with a dog, you have to walk it.
Yeah.
With a parrot, you got to find someone to take that bird after you're gone, I guess.
So I do love looking at them, and if I just start leaving my windows open.
Yeah.
And a parrot wants to come live in the house, but he knows that anytime I can go.
Right.
And it's not Stockholm syndrome where he's like, I got to stay with this guy. He knows that I'm free to come and go.
Right.
Then yes, I will accept him as my pet.
Excellent.
Here's my second favorite bird.
Okay.
I know I'm hopping all around.
It's the way to do it.
Don't say I'm bird brain because birds actually. Okay, a couple of years ago, I'm going to get back to my second favorite bird. You may have to remind me.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, I'm doing a movie. Because I'm a very famous African-American actor.
A lot of people don't know this about you, but you are. I'm actually just proud that you were willing to drive over to my house.
I was airlifted here. I was doing a movie called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in New York, and
were you Splinter?
No, I'm a character called Bebop. I'm a warthog.
Oh, there you go.
So I started out as a human, then I morphed into the animated version of myself. Yeah. Tyler Perry mutated me.
Oh, that was good. That was nice of him.
Yeah.
And,
Medea done mutated somebody.
That's steady work.
That is.
Anytime Tyler Perry comes into your life, someone hands you a check.
Wait a minute. No, he was just actually in this movie. He was only acting in it. He wasn't produced. It wasn't Tyler Perry's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which he admitted would have cost $15,000 and taken a month to make. Because he admitted how cheap he was.
Yeah.
So I'm in New York, and I'm on a set in the Natural History Museum in New York.
Oh, yeah.
And I meet a scientist there, and I said, my son's going to be here in a few weeks. And he's a science kid. She's like, I'll give you guys a private tour, a behind the scenes tour. So she took us on this amazing tour. I don't know why I keep forgetting. Wait a minute. I keep being into birds. And she took us to meet, one of the guys was this bird scientist. He was doing all this exploration of birds and their brains. And the whole idea was they have these tiny heads, but their brain for the size of their head is huge, first of all.
Okay.
And it's so multifunctional of they have to know how to fly, this whole thing about migrating, and this whole thing about thinking. So
their heads are full of brain. They're all brain.
They're all there. If somebody call you bird brain, that is actually
they don't know
compliment.
That is a compliment.
Yeah. You just say thank you, and then you flitter off.
Noted, Rangers. Yes.
And the reason I thought of that was because of my second favorite bird after peregrine falcon.
Yeah.
Is the raven.
The raven.
The raven is
Nevermore.
considered the smartest bird in the world.
Right.
And
if I remember correctly, they are, right?
Yeah. Well,
That's
as far as we know.
As far as we know. What's the first smartest bird?
No, that is the raven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Crows are like very close to a raven.
Right, but not as smart. The ravens
Not
are
as smart, but
How
also
smart are
very
ravens?
smart. They can do tasks.
Right, I've heard anecdotes,
Yeah,
right?
like they-
octopus anecdotes where
Yeah.
they can open
Like
things.
they will use tools. They'll use a stick to do this thing, to make this thing fall, to do that, to go get that thing.
Right, because they got to go get that thing.
Yeah.
And they're like,
But by using a tool and not like, oh, let me train this raven to use this tool. It might see something on your shelf that it knows I got to poke a stick in that hole to get this thing out, and it sees a stick on the other side of the room. You're never going to have to tell that raven, go get that stick and stick it in that hole. That raven's going to figure it out.
Right.
And they're also very trainable birds. Like you can train them to bring you jewels and trinkets because they like shiny things naturally for some reason.
Remember homing pigeons?
Yeah.
There were a couple of different birds. There were birds that were indigenous to the United States or to the North America that are no longer, like there was some sort of homing pigeon or something that became extinct.
That's extinct now?
Yeah. And now I've weeded off into the world of pigeons. What do you think of pigeons?
First of all, I will tell you a scary story of a pigeon that I could not believe what happened. By the way, I don't remember the two names of the pigeons we have here. There's a stone pigeon we have here, and then there's another, the more common pigeon that you see with the bands, stripes on them. So really, in the LA area, there's two basic
main
kinds
pigeons.
of pigeons that we have here, and closely related to doves. By the way, pigeons and doves are super class. One day, I'm walking my son home from school, and I see a huge red-tailed hawk. And it has a pigeon down on the ground, just ripping the feathers off, like methodically ripping its feathers off as it stands on it with its talons. And you could see what looked like a throw pillow's worth of feathers down on the ground. And I come up and I see the pigeon is still alive. At first I thought, he's eating. I hate to see dead stuff, but he's eating. I'm just going to leave him alone. And then I see that pigeon is still moving. And it looks like it might have 6 feathers left on him.
Yeah.
And he's still moving. And then at that point, I just become part of nature. And I was like, I don't want to see this thing get his head ripped off. And I go, ah, and I clap. And the red tail looks at me, and then it flies away.
Yeah.
The pigeon, hardly a freaking feather on it. And it still seems like this is a cartoon.
Yeah.
It shakes it off like, oh, what just happened?
Yeah.
And it flies off. Almost freaking naked pigeon flies off. Like, how is that thing flying?
It doesn't have any
Number
feathers.
one, it hardly had a feather on it. And it had just been through
PTSD. Yeah,
oh my God. But that shake off of it, like, and then up.
That begs the question, do new feathers grow?
Yes, new feathers do grow.
Thank you very much for answering that question, for I did not know.
Yeah. Because you'll see birds preening themselves. They'll get rid of their old birds. Certain birds molt. They'll get rid of their old feathers.
So that pigeon probably hid for a couple of days, and then at least had enough.
I hope so. Or Jesus. Right.
Yeah, that is a lot. Was your son traumatized slightly?
No, my son is very scientific and very methodical. Like when something like that happens, even me, like years ago, it was around my birthday time, and we're just eating dinner, and he looks at me and goes, I did the math, Dad. You probably have about 40-something years. Like, he told me the number. I don't know what it was at that time. Say it was 47.
Right.
I did the math. You probably have about 47 years left. And then he goes back to eating. So, no, that's just methodical.
Right. You can just hope. And, But, the thing is they say the person who's going to live to be 125 years has been born.
Ah.
So.
Yeah.
The Ute. It's one of these youths.
Yeah, they're out there.
They're out there.
It could be us. We've been born. Oh, been or have not?
Just
been.
Recently born. Like the.
I feel fairly recently born.
Do you feel recently born?
Yeah.
Because it's what I always tell my nieces and nephews whenever they're like, well, I can't figure out what I want to do. I'm 22. And I'm like, don't worry about it. You got 100 more years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't pace yourself.
Figure it out in 60 years.
Yeah. It's you don't have to do everything immediately.
Yeah.
I know that everyone wants you to.
Yeah.
The only thing you have to do in my family immediately is get a fucking job.
Yeah. We
please.
were a job family.
Yeah,
too.
we're a job family. It's just like, don't be a burden.
Speaking of burdens, now one thing about bird.
Yes.
Bird.
Do it. Bring it back, which is such an important part of the Dork Forest.
It is not even. But I have to say this because of my love of ravens.
Yes.
A lot of people want to know. I say a lot of people. Me wanted to know.
Right.
Because I grew up with
the committee in your
the committee in my head. My cranium committee.
Yeah, cranium committee.
When I was growing up, like we had crows. I didn't even know what a raven looked like. And so now I know, and here's how you can tell.
Yeah.
Especially when it's on the wing, when it's flying.
Okay.
First of all, there's a size difference. Like crows are about 17 inches long.
Yeah.
Ravens are about 24 inches long, like 2 feet.
Wow.
Raven's a big-ass bird.
Wow.
Their beaks are fatter. They have a fatter beak. But the real way to tell is when they're flying overhead, a raven's tail comes to a point in the back.
Oh.
If it's flat,
Yeah.
if it's flat or just kind of roundedy looking, it's a crow. A raven's tail comes to a point.
Okay.
And that's definitely how you'll know that you're looking at a raven as opposed to a crow.
Okay.
There's a bird called a grackle here.
Yeah.
It's a black bird. It's smaller than a crow, and it has a big, flat, long tail. Don't be tricked by grackles, ladies and gentlemen.
Those are not crows. And
don't
they
be
are certainly not ravens.
Or the brewer's blackbird. Don't get tricked by a brewer's blackbird.
Grackle, brewer's blackbird, they look similar?
Yeah. Brewer's blackbird is probably smaller than a grackle. Definitely has a much smaller tail. The grackle's tail is very long.
Very long and then flattish.
And flat. Yeah, very long. It flattens off at the tip.
Okay.
Then comes your common crow.
The common crow.
The common crow, which is a very smart bird. Maybe second to the raven is going to be.
We have crows in this neighborhood, and they are loud.
Crows are loud.
And they're irritating.
The pitch of a raven is a little bit lower than the crow.
Okay.
It's that same caw kind of thing,
Yep.
but lower than a crow.
Okay.
Flatter to a rounded off tail. Mm-hmm. That raven's tail pointed. So it goes from that brewer's blackbird, grackle.
Yep. Crow.
Raven. Gary's
and
second favorite.
And all four of them are available for seeing here in
beautiful Southern California.
Beautiful. Now, when it rains,
oh yes,
birds stay in.
Yeah, birds tend to stay in.
Much like everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh well, I guess this day's I'm not gonna get a lot done.
Yeah.
Even as a bird.
Yeah.
Now, hummingbirds have to eat supposedly their own weight.
Hummingbirds have to eat a lot, yeah.
But
there's a lot blooming here for hummingbirds to eat.
Oh, plenty. Yeah. There's a lot of flowers. It's good times.
My favorite hummingbird?
Yeah.
That's your question.
That is my question. Who knew there were more than one?
Oh, my God, girl. So I was walking the same place I saw this western tanager right here.
Yep.
I'm walking up near the top of Dixie Knoll Mulholland, and I see a flash of red. I was like, what the heck is that? A little red hummingbird. It's Allen's hummingbird.
It's called Allen's hummingbird?
Yeah.
I've never seen a red one. I've seen green ones.
Yeah, check out that little guy.
That little guy.
And that red right there doesn't do it any justice.
Because it's brighter than that.
And it has that metallic look, that how the hummingbirds have that green metallic look? It's a red metallic bird flying around. Beautiful little fella. Just hummingbirds are territorial though. They will go fighting, chasing off some other hummingbirds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, this is something that's in my brain. I don't know if it's just a rumor I heard. They're not really flying. Are they buzzing? Is it different?
They're not flying?
Yeah, that it looks like they're flying.
They're flying?
I don't.
Oh, was it the sound that they make?
Yeah,
was
maybe.
Because like recently I was reading something that was saying, well, hummingbirds there's a high-pitched sound they make when they're angry at each other, which is a weird thing you got to hear.
Yeah.
Like if there's a couple of them fighting over,
that'd
like
be
you
weird.
said, they got to eat a lot.
Yeah.
If there's a couple of them fighting, then they make a weird high-pitched sound. But that humming sound, which people say is their wings. I was just reading something recently that said some people were saying that they're actually making a sound too that's going with that. I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
Once again, I'm the man who'd be looking at birds.
Right. You're not listening to them. You're not asking them questions.
I want to.
Sure. What would you ask a bird?
I would ask a raven, like, how much do you really know? Because really, they really are. Any animal like monkeys, any animals that can use a tool to get what it wants.
Right.
You know, there's that thing like with crows, there's something in the bottom of this glass. There's water in it, and there's something in the water, but they need it up. And the crows will take rocks and drop it in there to raise the water level until it gets the water level up to where they need the water.
Oh, my God.
Like, they're smart. They know what they're doing.
Right. Did you ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Long ago.
Well,
long ago. I love that book.
One of those books. It's like a 5-book trilogy because he's hilarious. That Douglas
universe
Adams.
at the end of the
restaurant.
Restaurant at the end of the universe.
So one of them, he learns to fly. And he becomes irritated because birds are constantly just discussing wind patterns and speed. And so,
wow,
I mean, that's a conversation I want to have like once.
Yeah.
Like, what's it like to fly?
That's okay. God, it's all. You're actually making me realize how everything is tied into. I dream most nights that I can fly. Most nights I dream that I have the ability to fly. So the other day I went hiking up. It's in Topanga Canyon. It's a place called Eagle Rock, but it's in Topanga Canyon National Forest. And there were these big ravens up there at the top. And I went all the way up to the top of Eagle Rock, to the rock itself. And they were just right there, just like silently soaring. And I thought, that would be great right now if I could just jump off this rock and just soar. And that is one of my fears because I dream I'm flying every night.
Yep.
I'm also a very lucid dreamer.
Right.
And in my dreams, like, here's what might happen.
Yeah.
You and I might be at the top of a dam somewhere in my dream. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, she has no idea I can fly. I'm going to trick her. And then I go, I'm just going to go now. And then I jump off the dam, and you see me going down, and I hit the ground, like, Gary, no. And then I go, ha, fool you. And I start flying around.
Right.
So I dream this almost every night. So, but before I do that in my dreams, I check to make sure that I'm dreaming. Because I'm always afraid in the daytime.
Right.
That I'm not going to know I'm dreaming, and I'm going to jump to my death somewhere.
Don't jump to your death. Allow me to state the obvious.
To me once.
Did you? Do you ever get to the? Do you have that thing where you get to the edge, and you're like, I wonder if I'm going to jump? I get that.
No, because.
I might just have suicide thoughts.
No. In real life, wide awake, I'm never going to do that. But I fear. I don't go. Oh, I wonder if I'm going to jump off the top.
I wonder if I'm going to throw myself off of.
Yeah.
I was at a fort at the edge of Galway, Ireland. The Aran Islands, there was a 4,000-foot fort. 4,000 feet? Don't know if that's real. 4,000-year-old, probably.
Okay.
So all I know is that whenever I am not this is not a gazelle. I am not a graceful human. So I always think, like in the Grand Canyon, that I'm going to trip and fall. I don't think I'm going to throw myself off. I'm almost certain I'm going to trip, fall to my death.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, go look over the edge. And there's no bar. There's no railing.
Yeah.
And so I, on my belly, crawled to the edge and then looked over it and then crawled back. Like at no time was I on my knees or my feet. Flat.
Yeah.
A matter
You
of
are
fact,
already one with gravity.
Yeah.
It
I
can't
am
take you down any further.
right now just at the idea of being at the edge of something.
Well, I am not a sure-footed person either, and I just started super hiking.
Yep.
But I'm not a sure-footed person, and I don't
super hiking?
I walk like yesterday. I walked 10 miles.
Oh my God.
I went up a canyon a couple of times, and then I went on like a 3-mile walk before.
My friend Andrew Thompson just started doing that. He also lost a great deal of weight, and then he started hiking.
Yeah.
So they say walking is the best exercise.
I love it. It clears my head, or it makes
What do you do on a walk? Do you listen?
Sometimes I listen to stuff. If I want to think about stuff, I don't listen to anything.
And then you see birds.
And I see birds.
Yeah.
And now sometimes friends will go on a walk with me, and they get mad because I'm pointing out birds. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was because you were going at a clip.
No. Oh, so the time I almost flew.
Yeah.
Which should be also another book I write. I was shooting. My son had just been born. Mm-hmm. I could not sleep at all.
Congratulations. Yes.
Congratulations on me not being able to sleep. You're welcome.
Having a baby. He's probably 8 now.
No, anyway. He is 16 now.
Okay. He
had just been born, and I'm shooting a movie called Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't sleep. And my wife said, when you get up to Toronto, then get the Tylenol PM up there.
Oh, they got the good Tylenol PM.
Yeah. And I was like, okay. And I had never taken it in my life. The plane is late. I arrive late. The guy takes me to the drugstore that they have a weird name there. I can't remember the name of them. And I get Tylenol PM.
Walgreens?
Walgreens. That is a weird name.
Go ahead. Sorry. Too much riffing. I apologize.
No,
Go.
that is just the right amount of riffing. I get back to my hotel room. I pop 2 of them, or how many ever you're supposed to take. And I think to myself, I really need to sleep. I'm going to drink a beer with it. I drink a beer with these things. I lay down to go to sleep. It's 1 a.m. My phone rings. Hey, Gary, it's blah, blah with the movie. We'll be there to pick you up in the morning. Okay, cool. What's my call time? We'll be downstairs at 4.
Uh-oh.
4 a.m.? Yeah. Okay. It's 1 a.m.
Right.
I lay down, and I had not slept my son was 2 weeks old at this point. And he was born jaundiced, so we had to wake him up every 2 hours. So at 0 point had I slept more than 2 hours at a time.
Wow.
In 2 weeks. At no point. Right. Literally.
Right.
So
you were like, oh my God, I get to 3 hours.
So it's like, yeah, okay. So I was like, oh crap. Okay. And I just took this medicine. Mm-hmm. I wake up and I feel amazing. It's like, oh my God. Great. Mm-hmm. I feel good. I get in the van. I get in the makeup trailer. I'm joking with the makeup lady, and I'm about to walk out the trailer. And I say, I guess I'll just fly down the stairs. And she goes, what? And then I realize I'm awake, kinda.
Yeah.
But I'm also in another zone.
Right.
I'm lucidly awake, dreaming. And I was about to do what I do in real life, which was just straighten my legs and jump out and expect to fly down the stairs out of this trailer, which I know I would have broken.
Many things. Any number of.
It took her going, what'd you say? To make me realize I'm fucked up right now and had no idea.
Right.
No idea.
Tylenol PM, no sleep.
Yeah.
And awake.
Yeah.
Yeah. You cannot fly in real life at this time.
So they said, hey, we're running a little bit behind if you want to hang out in your trailer. So I was able to lay down, take a little nap. But still, when I watched that movie, I remember almost none of the scenes that I made in that movie from that day. And it was totally unintentional.
Right.
Almost flew.
Yeah.
Or had she not said, what if I had flown?
What if you had flown? What if Jonathan Livingston Seagull was true?
Yeah.
And anyway, I have this to say. Gary Williams, it has been an hour.
Oh, what a sweet hour it's
been. It's been a sweet hour. We could have talked for a lot more.
We could have.
Douglas Adams, I would say this. There's a movie called Last Chance to See that he wrote. It's a nonfiction book about endangered species. Essentially him going around the world making fun of endangered species. It was...
Making fun of them?
Yes, but not...
Oh, I want to know.
In a mean way, but in a mean way.
But in his sense of humor.
Yes, and so it's called Last Chance to See. And it's essentially a bit of a wake-up call. And don't know if it worked, but I remember reading it and loving it.
I want to see this.
It's a good one. Last Chance to See. But let's do this. Yep. Gary Anthony Williams on Instagram.
Yep.
At Gary A. Williams on Twitter.
Yep.
Podcast Day Drinking with Gary and Elliot.
Yep. On
all the things. And there's also an Instagram and a Twitter handles for those if you end up loving that show. And Whose Line? You're in the rotation on that.
Yep.
I'm Sorry on True TV, and the last seasons are on Netflix.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for doing the show.
This has been wonderful. I'm going to go through your neighborhood before I leave here and just find all the birds. Find them all.
It's raining, so you will find them.
I'll shimmy up the trees.
Rangers, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat, my hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?